Ah, are you out of your sense? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Tó bá yẹ pé mi ń ṣe èèyàn tó careful ní distance báyẹn tí mo bá lọ hit ẹ tí n bá pa kí ló máa sọ pé ṣẹlẹ̀?
Keep quiet. I want to help your life.
Ó jẹ́ help rẹ̀ wọ́n tó need help tó ń sọ pé wọ́n máa help life tèmi. Who are you? Ta ni ẹ gan-an?
I am Alagbawi.
Okure.
Orúkọ táwọn èèyàn ń pè mí nìyẹn.
Ọ̀gbẹ́ni mò ń kọjú kúrò lọ́nà fún mi jẹ́ kí n máa lọ.
Yeah, you go.
Olúwa o.
Adémọ́lá Onítìrí.
Ta ló sọ orúkọ mi fún ẹ?
Nílà látẹ̀.
Mo dáná.
Ọmọ àti Táíwò.
Wèrè tún lórúkọ màmí kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
Babaláku bàbá ẹ̀ ni wèrè.
They say in this life, some things know they show for face. You can see a man laughing today, but tomorrow, life go test his faith. Some call it karma, others call it destiny. But in this story, you'll see both dance hand in hand. Welcome to Naija Films Recap, where we bring you stories that shake your soul, test your beliefs, and remind you that for every lie told in the dark, truth is waiting with a lamp. Today's story isn't your regular village tale. This one carries fire. It starts with a slap that echoed louder than thunder, and ends with a madman who wasn't mad at all. A man called Alagbawi, mocked by many, feared by some, sent by God. So sit tight, grab your popcorn, or better still, your gari and groundnut, because what's about to unfold will make you question who's really insane and who's truly blessed. This is not just a movie. It's a warning, a miracle, and a mystery, all rolled into one. Let's get into it. The movie kicks off with tension you can almost taste. Oladapo bursts through his front door, breathless and flushed as if he has just sprinted a mile. His wife, caught off guard, looks up. She sees the fire in his eyes and blurts out, "What happened?" He doesn't answer right away. Instead, he lifts a hand, silencing her. His jaw tightens. He calls out, "Kunle, come here." Kunle walks in from the hallway. He looks relaxed, almost amused. Dapo skips all pleasantries. "Did you sneak into my room, forge my signature, and withdraw money from my account?" he asks. Most people would stammer or deny everything. Kunle simply nods. "Yes," he says. The room feels like it has stopped breathing. The elder brother blinks, stunned. His wife covers her mouth. Then anger takes over. "What?" he explodes. "Why?" Kunle shrugs and says he needed new clothes. The elder brother lashes out. His hand snaps against Kunle's cheek. "You forged my signature for clothes?" he shouts. Kunle rubs his face, still stubborn, pride refusing to step aside. You can see the road ahead for him, and it isn't paved with wisdom. Switch the camera to another house. It's early. A husband rushes toward the door, briefcase swinging. He looks sharp, ready for business. His wife calls after him. "Eat something first," but he shakes his head. "No time," he says, eyes on the prize. He is hungry for success, not for food. Once he lands that contract, he promises, then he'll feast. His drive is admirable, but skipping breakfast might prove short-sighted. The man is flying down the road when an unexpected figure steps into the lane. The driver slams on the brakes. Tires squeal. Standing in front of him is a man most people dismiss as insane. He is called Alagbawi by the locals. His clothes are torn and dirty. His hair matted, but his gaze is steady. He tells the driver, "I want to help you." The driver laughs. "You? Help me? Move aside." But Alagbawi doesn't move. He calls the driver by his full name. He mentions his mother's name and his hometown. Suddenly the driver stops laughing. How could a stranger know those details? Alagbawi then warns him, "You're going to defend your proposal. If you go now, you'll waste the whole day. Sit and wait somewhere else." Then he turns and walks away. The driver sits there, engine idling, mind racing. Should he really take advice from a madman? Elsewhere, a frantic couple rushes into a hospital carrying their unconscious daughter. The father, who happens to be the managing director responsible for awarding the contract, shouts for help. His wife sobs, clutching their daughter's limp hand. In that moment, the MD's only concern is his child. They hand her over and pray. This emergency keeps him at the hospital far longer than he expected, delaying his arrival at the office. Back at the office, the hopeful candidates wait for hours. They do not realize that the MD is at the hospital with his daughter. As time drags on, and there is no sign of him, the crowd gives up and leaves disappointed. The man who listened to Alagbawi's warning sits in his car and waits as he was told. When the MD finally leaves the hospital and arrives late in the evening, the young man walks into the office at the same time. He is the only candidate left to present. He delivers his proposal with confidence. The MD listens, impressed by his clarity and persistence, and approves the project on the spot. The young man returns home, grinning ear to ear. His wife can hardly believe it. "You're kidding," she exclaims. He nods. "They loved my idea." They laugh. It feels like a miracle. Sometimes you should listen to strangers, those who seem odd. Back at Dapo's house, the mood is heavy. The wife sits with a close friend, her eyes red. She confides she has been married 5 years without a child. "We've tried everything," she whispers. Her friend squeezes her hand and says, "Don't lose hope. God's timing is best. You'll have your own children, maybe even twins." But the wife struggles. She wonders aloud if God has forgotten her. Her friend insists he hasn't. When her husband comes in, he sees her tears and knows why she's crying. He sits beside her and assures her, "We're in this together. It's not your fault. We'll find a way," he promises to spend whatever it takes. They hold each other in a moment of shared sorrow and hope. While this couple navigates sorrow, Alagbawi roams the streets. People laugh and throw stones. He doesn't seem to notice. One day he stops a taxi driver named Gaji. "Your wives want to kill you," he says flatly. "They put a charm in your car." Gaji chuckles nervously at first, but something in the man's eyes makes him listen. "Check under your seat," Alagbawi says. "There's a black egg." Gaji races home, heart pounding. He searches his car. Under the driver's seat, he finds a black egg. His stomach flips. He calls his elder brother. They confront his 2 wives. Both women deny everything. Remembering Alagbawi's words, Gaji smashes the egg on the floor. One wife suddenly starts shaking. Tears pour down her face as she confesses. She says she went to a herbalist because she felt ignored. The herbalist gave her the egg, claiming it would cause a fatal crash. She screamed and ran out of the house, a mad woman. As a result of the charm, the compound is stunned. How close Gaji came to disaster. Kunle isn't finished scheming. He plans to exploit his uncle's pain over childlessness. One afternoon, he walks into his uncle's house, phone pressed to his ear. He loudly puts the call on speaker. A voice on the other end screams with joy, announcing that Auntie Dara has just given birth. "Praise God!" Kunle shouts. Dapo and his wife stare in shock. They know Auntie Dara had been barren for 8 years. "She gave birth to twins," Kunle adds, his eyes wide with fake excitement. "People told her to leave her husband, but she stayed. Now look what God has done." Hope ignites in his aunt's eyes. She hangs on his every word. She doesn't see that this entire scene is planned to push her toward a fake pastor. The husband calms her down and tells her that after Auntie Dara's christening of her child, they would get the contact of the pastor. When the couple arrives, the man greets them with a broad smile, feigning holiness. He acts as if he knows them intimately. He recounts private details about their marriage, their prayers, their home. The wife cries tears of relief. She believes this man has the power to see what nobody else can. Her husband tries to stay grounded, but curiosity and hope soften his skepticism. The pastor draws a deep sigh and shakes his head. He tells them their case is special. He claims the spirit responsible for childlessness is a powerful entity requiring specific sacrifices. He lists them: 7 goats, 7 lambs, 7 dogs, gallons of palm oil, bottles of honey, candles. The list grows. The husband eventually stops him. "How much?" he asks, cutting through the ritual. 1.5 million naira, the pastor replies, without flinching. The wife gasps. 1.5 million, she repeats. Her husband looks at her, then at the pastor. He shrugs and says, "It's a lot, but it's our only chance. We'll find the money." After they leave, Kunle and his accomplices celebrate. They drink and laugh about how gullible the couple is. They congratulate themselves on the con. Their greed blinds them to the pain they are causing. They plan the next steps, ready to demand more money if needed. While they toast their success, Alagbawi continues to wander. He never seems to tire. One afternoon, the contractor whose career he saved returns to the neighborhood looking for him. The man holds a heavy bag. "If you see that madman, call me," he tells passers-by. Eventually, he finds Alagbawi and thrusts the bag toward him. "You changed my life," he says. "Please take this as thanks." Alagbawi waves him away. He says he only needs 100 naira for drinking water. The man insists. "It's in the bag," he smiles. Alagbawi takes the bag and thanks God. He heads to the bar where he sometimes charges his torchlight. He places the bag on the counter and tells the bar owner, "Check if the 100 naira is there. I only need that." She opens the bag and sees a bundle of notes. She gasps. She tried to give him, but he's already walking away. He trusts her. She stands in shock, holding more money than she has ever seen. Days later, Alagbawi stops at the gate of Kunle's uncle's house. He bangs on it. "Open the gate," he shouts. "The messenger of God is here." The guard cracks the gate to shoo him away. Alagbawi called the owner by his full name. The guard is stunned. At the same time, the husband is exhausted. They have completed the 7-day vigil and sacrificed everything the pastor asked for. Nothing has changed. The pastor demands yet another payment, this time 2 million naira. Doubt creeps into the husband's heart. When he returns home, he sees Alagbawi outside singing an old gospel tune. "Who let this madman stay here?" he asks, annoyed. Alagbawi looks up calmly. "I come on assignment from above," he says. The husband orders the guard to send him away, but something stops him. "Wait, bring him in," he whispers. He isn't sure why, but curiosity wins. Once inside, Alagbawi walks through the house, tapping parts of the house with his stick, as if he is searching for something. "Did you build this house?" he asks. "No, we bought it," the husband replies. Alagbawi then reveals the secret hidden beneath the beautiful tiles. The house's foundation was built on buried embryos. Children's lives were sacrificed to raise the house, he says. That is why no child can survive within it. The wife was utterly dumbfounded. The husband stands frozen. What kind of horror was hidden under their feet? Alagbawi instructs them to fetch water from the sea and pour it around the house at 1 o'clock the next afternoon. He says if nothing happens, they can call him a liar. He turns and leaves. On his way out, he goes towards Kunle. Alagbawi smiles faintly, perhaps seeing through him, and continues on. Later that day, Alagbawi runs into Gaji again. Gaji wants to repay him. He insists on buying him food. Alagbawi refuses random offers, stating that not all food is safe. Instead, he leads Gaji to a place where he used to buy wanke. When they arrive, people are eating heartily. Gaji points at them and says, "See, everyone is eating. Let's join." Alagbawi pauses. He raises his book to the sky and calls his name, Alagbawi. He drops the book. Suddenly, Gaji sees the vendors transform into spirits. Their faces change. Alagbawi explains that the food is cursed. Those who eat will suffer illnesses and misfortunes. He prays and the spirits vanish. The diners continue eating, oblivious. Gaji tries to warn them, but they ignore him. After a few weeks, Oladapo's wife met her husband with joyous news. A pregnancy test result. She is pregnant. After years of waiting, after being taken advantage of, joy blooms in their home. They cry, laugh, and hold each other. The husband says they must thank the madman who changed their fate. When word reaches Kunle and his friends, they are furious. That madman ruined everything. Kunle snaps. The pastor nods. "We must stop him," he growls. They assume the key to Alagbawi's power lies in a book he carries. If they take it, they think they will gain his secrets. They plan their crime. Late at night, they sneak to Alagbawi's hut. They intend to steal his book and silence him. But the moment they approach, he becomes invisible to them. He watches silently as they rummage through his belongings. They find nothing. Frustrated, they rush to a herbalist. The old man laughs and tells them the only way to get the book is to kill Alagbawi. Greed blinds them. They return and commit the unthinkable. They take his life. They grab the book and flee. When they open it, they find only blank pages. Panic sets in. They return to the herbalist, who informs them that once they separated Alagbawi from the book, its contents disappeared. The only way to access his wisdom now, he says, is by using his brain. They went back to his body and removed his brain. It is gruesome. Fate intervenes when policemen stop them on the road. They are arrested. As handcuffs click into place, they see Alagbawi strolling past with a serene smile. The officers do not react. They do not see him. Kunle and his friend finally realize they messed with forces beyond their understanding. The film's final scenes cut to a group of townsfolk gathered around an elderly storyteller. He retells this saga, his voice low and even. Someone asks if it is true that God can turn a man into anything if he refuses his calling. The old man nods. God can do anything, he says. If he likes, he could turn you into a goat or a rooster. May God spare us. Another listener wonders how a man can die, yet walk again. The old man explains that no one dies before their appointed time. The madman, he reveals, was once named Bamidel Michel. God called him to be a pastor, but he refused. God turned him into a madman to deliver messages disguised. Eventually, Bamidel answered that call. The final frame shows Bamidele Michel kneeling in a church. Tears stream down his cheeks. "Lord, I am ready," he whispers. The congregation echoes, "Amen." The credits roll over his bald head. The story closes with a sense of justice and redemption. The greedy are punished. The barren are blessed. The ambitious succeed by listening to unlikely advice. The madman turns out to be a prophet. The lesson is clear. Destiny cannot be dodged. Pride, greed, and deception leads to downfall, while humility and faith carry people through. The tale lingers because it intertwines the supernatural with daily struggles. It entertains with twists and turns, but it also holds a mirror to human nature. And that is how everything turned around. Kunle thought he could cheat destiny, but destiny already wrote his script. The so-called madman, he was the only sane one in the story. The barren became mothers, the greedy became prisoners, and the man who listened to a stranger found favor beyond imagination. Life no get formula. Sometimes your blessing fit wear rags. Sometimes your helper no fit speak English. But one thing is sure. What's meant for you will always find you, no matter who tries to block it. If this story shook you like it shook me, don't just scroll away. Hit that like button. Drop a comment. Tell us the lesson you learned. And most importantly, subscribe to Naija Films Recap for more powerful Naija stories that will make you laugh, cry, and think twice before judging the next madman you see. Because in this life, God know they play with destiny.